Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we're talking about how banks seem, in my opinion and experience, to be toughening up a little bit on just handing out money, both through credit cards, intro offers there as well, and approvals. But bank promotions and referral programs seem to be falling victim to this as well. So conversational topic here, but we'll go through my experiences and hopefully we'll see what maybe we can do to change our strategy, if anything, and of course what your experiences are as we're going through this hunting game together. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, you know me well over here, I would hope. I'm a bit of a degenerate from the standpoint of I will sign up for anything that pays any amount of money. I've done bonuses for $1, kind of just for laughs and bragging rights, but I've still done it. So on the credit card side, I've talked about this in a past video, but I think my record is, like 10 and 8, 10, 8 and 1 this year through July on approvals, 10 approvals, 8 denials, 1 push being Amex pop-up jail. So I'll sign up for anything card-wise. We've had crazy cards like the Venmo and Rocket Mortgage card. Huntington card, just anything for cash back. And the bank promotions, again, my goal is $10,000 over there in bank promotions. So that's usually about 50 accounts a year for the past 4 years or so, give or take. And then referral programs is how, I make most of the money on the second channel. So if you're interested in this stuff as we go, Run on the Bank is the second channel. It's always linked down below for you that has bank promotion videos. And then profitablecontent.com is the channel blog that has all the bank promotion videos and as well as credit card offers and news and things like that. You've heard me plug it before. So I've noticed, as I apply for everything, it's getting a little bit tougher. So cards isn't necessarily new. I mean, we know the defense mechanisms they have in place, right? It's, credit pull, right? And they can check not only your score, and most of us, our scores are fine. It's not really that big of a deal. I'm in the high 7s, usually depending on what you pull. If you want to go Vantage, I'm into the 8s usually, but usually they're using FICO. So 750, 760, it's right around usually where I'm there. I got a mortgage in February, no issues. But we've seen them change the model a little bit. Is we're now, Citi especially is a good example of this. Citi, they guard the Citi Premier very closely. They guard the Citi Strata Elite, Strata Premier now. Sorry, well, that tough as well. But now they're looking for, are you a profitable customer? And you can think about it. They can change the model that they're looking for, or use the same data points to make an inference on us, right? So if you have a good credit score, and they can see all the accounts you have open, and of course how recent they are, how much available credit. You have, I forget how much available credit I have, but it's quite a bit. I think I can put it on screen for you, and they can see that it's unused through low utilization. Then they can make a determination that you're probably just here for the intro offer. They know we exist. They know the websites exist and all that stuff, and it's a denial. And in the past, I don't remember seeing not a profitable customer or too much available unused credit as much. I've seen it. I mean, it's not uncommon, but it seems more prevalent. I think Wells Fargo hit me with the same thing when I applied for the Signify and the Journey card as well. So it's getting a little bit tougher from that standpoint. Now, card issuers do seem to be, well, my experience, if it's your first card with them, they seem like they will still take you. Then the second, third, and fourth, then they're a little bit more tough. Wells Fargo did approve me for an autograph card, gave me like 30 grand, no problem. Citi, the same thing. They took me for the custom cash, denied me for the premier, but then a month later approved me for the double cash. So some also seem to have specific products and marketing budgets that they're protecting for whatever reason. We'll never really know why, but that's also another trend I've been seeing. Of course, rules have already existed like 524. I tried recently for a Bank of America Premium Elite card. Bank of America does have a 7 of 12 rule, 7 new cards in 12 months. It's going to be declined. From my research and reading, that rule is like, do they enforce it? Do they not? Kind of a toss-up. Platinum Honors doesn't get you around it because they definitely denied me for that. But in fairness, again, I had been going through Bank of America cards pretty hard. So it could have been that as well. So I've seen that it is getting a little bit tougher to get approval for things on the credit card space. We have had a decent amount of card offers come through, though, in the form of new cards, right? So we've sent a lot of new cards, again, the Signify, the Journey, the Strata Elite it's new technically, but even it didn't hit the highest offer that the Premier had ever had. So we're also seeing a little bit less offers. I mean, the last super high offers, I think, were the Chase Ink ones. The 900s ran away. They did bump the Premier a little bit, but like the Freedom cards haven't had as much as they normally get. Even the Sapphire line didn't get as high as it did the previous year. At $900 in 2023 when I did it, 85. $850 this year if you went in branch, $750 online, I think it was. So again, you get the point. I think they're pulling back a little bit. So in the card space, what can you do? Well, I have talked to some folks who do like to call in and kind of lower their credit lines. You can do that. You can call in and say, I want to reduce my credit limit. That could potentially help look like you don't have as much credit as you do, because you won't have as much credit as you do. And it really doesn't matter too much as long as you're still, your utilization is fine. On some of these cards, they give you ridiculous amounts of money. Like my Bank of America customized cash cards, like $22,000 limit. Well, that card the 5x, well, it's 3x, but preferred rewards caps me at 5.25, is the top multiplier caps at $2,500, a quarter. So I'm never going to spend more than $2,500. Maybe you leave it at $3,000 just in case you go over by a little bit, but you get the point. So a lot of these cards, once you build up a portfolio of cards, a collection of cards, like I have, that I actually keep in this drawer here, so we can just for funsies, right? When you build up this many cards, I got all these freedom cards. Like, I don't really need, some of these cards have $20,000 because they used to be sapphire cards that were then downgraded. So you could definitely call and downgrade some credit, move some credit limit. You can move it around. So my Bank of America Unlimited cash card, I would probably move some of that to that card, then lower the rest. You could do that as well. I've also let balances report. Doesn't mean carry a balance, but instead of paying it off with a statement comes due, you report it, let the bill show up, and then you pay it, so they can at least see that you're using some of your credit. That can also be a thing too. That's what I'm doing. I haven't necessarily gone through and lowered credit limit yet, but those are some things you could potentially do, as well as just pacing yourself and picking your shots. We'll kind of talk about that one at the end a little bit. So the other one here that, again, yes, technically belongs to the second channel is bank promotions. Now, bank promotions, I've seen some banks change them around a little bit, right? So bank promotions are generally like the deposit accounts. You sign up for a checking account, do a few direct deposits, a few debit card swipes, maybe deposit some money for a length of time, and they give you your promotional offer, and you can shut it down and do it again the next year. And again, we made a whole channel about it, so it's very profitable. These have changed. Some banks, not all banks, have changed slightly. So Citi, for example, Citi used to be, you could be a new customer every 6 or 8 months, I want to say. Basically, it came down to you could do it like once per year on the year. Now they've changed it to like has to be a full year between having a new account. So even they've changed and tightened theirs up a little bit. The thing that got me started thinking about this topic specifically was this Ameriprise account. Ameriprise is a good example because they're really not meant for people like us, right? They're, financial advisory, and they do have deposit accounts and credit cards. They used to be a part of Amex back in the day, I think. But, this account here that I've got on screen for this, their savings account, when it first came out last year, I believe it was, a lot of us phoned up and tried to get in, and you could get in. I did get in, eventually, but it wasn't really set up for you to, churn this thing. And so now they've changed the eligibility to existing Ameriprise clients as of June 30th of 2024, when this offer right around when it came out, which tells me, they're looking at, hey, we don't want the influx of new people who don't want to be Ameriprise customers, right? Because we're definitely not the customers that they want. So when I wrote that article, wrote that post, that's what I was like, oh, that's a fun change. I see what you guys are doing there. We've even seen some credit unions who will try to find backdoor ways into credit unions. So Oklahoma is a good example. Oklahoma Credit Union. Their eligibility, if you don't know, like credit unions are usually locally based, and but sometimes there's ways to get in through like ACC memberships or employment groups or what have you. Well, Oklahoma's thing was, hey, you can join us if you have affiliation with any other credit union. If you watch the second channel, you read the blog, well, you've probably opened up a credit card bonus or two. And so I got denied. Well, they just ghosted me, actually. But, I had another channel member, talking to me. He's like, hey, I called in, and, the banker was telling me that they're not ready for out-of-state applications just yet. So we might call you back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks when we're ready. That's them. That eligibility has been there forever, probably, and they just got an influx. If I posted, I'm not that big, but if I posted and the doctor posted and other blogs posted, because I think I found it on another blog, well, then you do get an influx of people. So we can see them like, hey, wait a minute, how do we want to handle this and address this? Because we know these people aren't either real customers or it's fraud. It's one of the two, right? And they don't really want to take the risk either way. So there is that, which is not super helpful. I mean, we've seen other banks, change terms, tighten up the churn rules we want from customer. Those are a few that just kind of come to mind right now. So on those, I'm hopeful that I'll just probably keep shooting on those. But for those, it could definitely be one of them, more of a pick your shot, especially if you're worried about checks. Checks being basically your credit report equivalent for open bank accounts. Do you want to burn these checks inquiries? Personally, I don't care too much. I'll just keep shooting and try to get in. But I think the answer here is probably to pick your spot. For Citi, for example, if you can do it once a year now, well, then it matters when the offer that you get does matter. If it's once every 6, 8 months, whatever, fine. If I catch the low one here, a few months later, I'll catch the high one. But now could matter more, especially a good example is US Bank and BMO. They have always been, US Bank is for 2 years, but, they have different offers. The high is like 600. So maybe you wait to get the 600, which is what I'm currently doing, versus going for the 400 or 500, because it's, you got to get your money's worth, because it's going to be a while before you get back. But deposit accounts a little bit trickier, but they're lucky there's way more of them than there are credit cards. Now, the other one that is connected to deposit accounts is referrals, and referrals is a little bit tougher. So the second channel, really, because it's so niche, it doesn't really make that much money in views, honestly, like a few $100, give or take. But I mean, this channel doesn't make that much either. They almost make the same amount of money, actually, which may be around $500 to $700. This one's usually around $700, $800. The other one's usually around $400 to $500 a month in AdSense, because that one they pay more. I don't know why, probably because it's specifically about banks, but less people watch. So the point I'm trying to make is that channel and the website I think only made $40 last month, but through AdSense again. But I make money through referral programs, and those are tightening up too. So places like Affinity Federal Credit, you used to be an easy $1,000 a month or year, sorry, that'd be great, a year, and I've only done 2 referrals with them, and nothing else, which again, I'm not like that big of a channel or a blog, but it's really impossible for me to make a video on a referral bonus that pays out 100 and 100, gives you a referral link, and also has like $1,000 in credit card funding, and not get 10 new accounts. It's just not. Another one is Fairwinds used to be an easy $1,000 per month. And so what Fairwinds did was, this time around, they rolled out a referral program last year quickly for like a day, then pulled it back by the end of the day. They were giving out a ton of money. I don't remember specifically. But then this new one, they capped. They said instead of making 1,000, it's now 750 that you're capped at. And instead of infinite referrals, like I get capped at 1,000, but I can still refer infinite friends if I wanted to. They said you get 10 referrals, 10 slots, no matter what. Whether the other person completes them or not, you only get 10. And that's a change too. And so with the Affinity one, what I believe doing is they're saying, well, we've noticed an influx from this link specifically, because again, the credit union generating the link for you, and we're gonna quietly block it from me getting paid out. I didn't get a lot of complaints through email, because their website has an email, I have an email, I have comments, all that stuff. You can yell at me. So if there's a way to yell at me, I'm sure you can find it. So I believe those people are still getting paid out, because like maybe I don't want to turn away the new customer, but I'm going to isolate those links and not going to pay you. And I'm not going to tell you, because the way banks do multiple things, like when there's an issue, is they say nothing, thinking that, well, if you're a fraudster or a scammer, you'll just cut your losses and go away. And if you're a real customer with a real question, then you'll contact them. And so if you were to contact them and complain or file a CFPB complaint, they would say, sure, please provide me the information of the people you provided, because all these referral programs are really set up for you to know who you're referring. And I know you guys, but I don't know who's using them, right? And so I really have no argument there. And that's a newer thing that I've just started to see this year, which is unfortunate. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. We've also seen less offers in the bank promotion space. We talked about the credit card space. We are seeing a little bit new products that lead to new offers, but not so much like high offers everywhere as we have in the past, I would say. Some Amex ones of cards that were going away and about to get bumped, maybe, like the business gold upgraded, but you get my point. So We've covered what you can do with credit cards and bank promotions. I mean, I think a lot of it is depending on how you want to play it. Me personally, I'm going to keep shooting, but you could definitely say I'm going to pick my spots more, especially on the bank promotion side or even on the credit card side. If you find yourself getting denied a lot, well, obviously you might have to garden some more. Pick your spots, not apply for these dumb onesie twosie cards or $100, $200 bonuses that I apply for. There's definitely an argument to be made of like, hey, you're losing $600, $700, $800 offers over here, so you can pick up these sillier ones over here. The problem is who's to say at the time when these new offers are coming out, though, right? So there's that. The bank accounts, again, I know people who like to set a dollar amount, like, hey, I'm not going to bother unless it's $200 or more, $300 or more. I'm not going to do any of those things. Well, I might stop applying for the rest of this year, but because I'm getting denied for everything, so it's by force. Banks, I'm going to keep shooting and applying for whatever I can. There's an email I have to get to after this videos are done for the day to open up an account for $50. I don't care, but I'm just giving you your options. Referrals a little bit trickier. I think it would be more, I would still use referrals, but I would make sure to note, I would save the link and figure out whose link you use. So if you're using one from the channel or the blog, at least, save the link, save the time and the location you got it from. And usually I can help you find the person it was because we have channel members, so it's not always going to be mine. But those things will help you get around, getting locked out of referrals, getting paid your referral. Then if you know the person, then sure, you can, jot down their information as well. It makes it a lot easier. Many people in my Discord, become online friends because then it's easy to find people. Me, it would just be too much to manage to talk to the individual using my affinity link, get their information, and then have them apply. Could I do it? Sure, I could run it. You have to request it in an email. I could definitely do it, but I just don't want to be bothered with it, if we're being frank. So it's not really worth it. But anyhow, that's kind of what I've been seeing. Last side note here as we're going long is that I think we've seen a lot of bonuses drive because we've also lost the easy fintech neobanks. A lot of their programs haven't really come back or offers because a lot of the free money has long since gone away. And I do think these VCs and folks realize that the only people who ever sign up for these accounts are people like us and fraudsters. I don't know anyone really signing up for like GoToBank. SoFi and Chime are probably the exceptions, but like Oxygen, all of us, like all these banks, like I don't know any real people who are signing up for these. And so I think a lot of them may have learned a little bit of a lesson and pulling their marketing dollars and sending them somewhere else, which is unfortunate. But such is life. The game, we take what we can get sometimes, and we got to force our own shot. Sometimes we can, but so for me, I plan to keep shooting and trying as much as I can. Again, cards, I will probably pause, but these are some things to consider, some strategies you can do. And of course, I'm interested to see what you've seen out there as well. If you are interested in joining the community, channel member Discord is down below for that join button. It's $5 a month, cancel anytime, full access to the Discord. Just pick whatever channel is your favorite, this one or Run on the Bank. And again, the gist of it is, sharing data points, finding bonuses, and then blog posts in videos, we do use member referral links, and then you get to keep all that money. So I understand you maybe you're unfamiliar with the blog or the second channel, but if you found this video interesting, then they're linked down below for you. Of course, you can go check them out and maybe make a decision. We'd love to have you over there. We're pushing like 80 members or so right now, so it's a pretty profitable community. So, of course, again, that's always down below for you. But again, let me know your thoughts on what you're seeing as well and what your strategy is going to be as we move into the second half of the year and beyond. But, of course, guys, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. We're posting content just like this every single week and, of course, every single Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And, of course, every single day over on ProfitfulContent.com, which you've heard is our blog. We post news stories, we have bank promotions, and we have credit card offers. So if you want to keep getting your shots up and say no to the drought, well, we got you covered over there. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you very soon in the next one.